13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments were signed to actually free the slaves. The Civil Rights Movement started in the 1960s. Brown versus Board of Education was signed in 1954, ending legal segregation. Immediately following integration, in Little Rock, Arkansas, 7 African American students had to be escorted into the white school by the U.S. Army where they were not wanted. African American leaders sprung up from before and after the 2 most discussed topics of African American history: Frederick Douglass, W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, the Tuskegee Airmen, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Langston Hughes, Madam C.J. Walker, Rosa Parks, Jackie Robinson, Maya Angelou, all the way to President Barack Obama. I challenge you to look into your history and discover where God has brought us from. Understand that dreams do come true and God does answer prayers. There's hope in that alone. Now that we have looked at a little bit of our African American history, let's talk about the here and now. My challenge to the students in this room is to view school as a tool.
All right.
It is well known that students have to attend school through the age of 16, so it is commonly seen as a must. Well, I would like to challenge that idea just a little bit. You don't have to attend school, but there are consequences.
Oh, yes.
Such as getting sent off to a delinquent or behavioral correction school. Your parents can get fined for your truancy.
Yes. Yes.
You may have a low-wage job or probably won't be able to get a job without a high school degree or a GED. Despite the idea that you have to go to school, you can decide, not to come to school. You just might be facing the aforementioned consequences of which none sound appealing or appetizing. Then there is the student who goes to school and puts the least amount of effort into their work and passes nevertheless, but what have they achieved from this? Perhaps temporary satisfactions that they have tricked or beat the system, but what does that do for them? I'll let you all answer that question on your own. If you use school as a tool, then I think that you will find success. Now, when I say use school as a tool, what do I mean exactly? School is a way to sharpen skills, to discover some of your talents, to develop relationships, to try new things, to succeed and to fail. When a teacher asks you to do work, don't look at it as him or her trying to make your life miserable, but rather as to give you practice for the class. It's like sports. You practice before the game. So in class, you practice with homework before the game, which is the test. It is only a way to tone your skills. Now, talents. You could be good in science, math, English, Spanish or French, history, agriculture, art, or home economics. But how would you ever know if you were talented in that area if you never gave it your best effort and did your best work? If you always do your best, then you should never feel bad about a grade because it's just a generalized measurement. If you do your best and you try your hardest to understand, then you should receive an A. We will talk about what that entails in a few minutes. Of course, the social aspect of school is important too. Get to know people, learn how to communicate effectively, learn how to work with others that you don't necessarily like or agree with.
All right.
Learn to care for others and help them when they need it. Those skills will be useful in any job that you ever have.
Yes, sir.
Don't be scared to take good risk. Notice that I said good risk. It goes back to doing your best. If you never try your hardest, how do you know if you're good at it? If you think you would like a certain class or activity and you never try it, how will you know if you enjoy doing that particular thing? Success is another measurement that is external in our culture. For instance, we measure success by money, clothes, grades, cars, shoes, houses, material items. But I would challenge you all to think about what success really is. If you do your best and you strive to be better, and give your works all of your effort, then you are successful, whether or not it shows outwardly in those material items. The reason I said that success and failure, the reason why I said those two together is because out of failure springs growth. Out of mistakes springs understanding. Do not let your failure bound you, but rather allow you to have hindsight and be able to say, I will not do that again, or I will do better the next time. I would encourage you all to use your resources, your elders, your parents, grandparents, your parents' friends, your teachers, your older friends, me or other students you know that are in college or high school are all resources to you. Surely we did not go through something to not be able to share with others and help others out. Humans are interdependent, meaning we should all help each other out when in need and when not in need. I've learned in college that we are blessed to be a blessing, so I would challenge you to use your blessings to be a blessing to someone else, and also to look to those that are blessed for help. Which brings me to my next advice. Ask questions. If you don't know something, ask for help. Do not be embarrassed over your question, or perhaps don't be embarrassed. You'll never forget that answer for sure. If you never ask your question, it will not be answered. Humans were designed to reason, and questioning is part of the process. As school is only one tool to develop skills, you all also need to get involved in the community. Find something that you are passionate about and serve there. If you like animals, then volunteer at the Humane Society. If you like to read, volunteer at the library. Volunteer in the church, in a park, with an elementary school after-school program. Anything that you have interest in, ask if you can get involved. I'm pretty sure that whoever is the leader of that particular organization will probably love volunteers. It will give you experience, and you will find out if it is something that you truly enjoy, and maybe you can figure out what you would like to do with your life as far as a career. The last of my advice is about a book I think you all should read. It's called The 7 Habits of a Highly Effective Team. It asks questions that will hopefully spur you on to some questions that need to be answered in your life. And it gives tips and advice on how to approach some experiences. I'll read some of the headings to you guys so you can get a feel for it. Get in the habit, paradigms and principles. Get in the habit, the subheading is they make or break you. Paradigms and principles, what you see is what you get. The personal bank account, starting with the man in the mirror. Habit 1, be proactive. Habit 2, begin with the end in mind. Habit 3, put first things first. So as you can see, it gives you a lot of good advice on how to be successful. I just want to thank you all for listening to me. Thank God for this opportunity. If you ever need anything, please contact me. We all have Facebook, so I'm sure you can get in touch. No excuses. But seriously, ask me any questions that you have. Now I'd like to open up the floor for any questions.